Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. Give y'all some time to tune in case these notifications ain't go out. Again, a blessed and happy new year and happy 2025 to everybody that's tuning in. First things first, you already know, hopefully everybody having a blessed and productive Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Hopefully everybody smoothly got through the work day. I know for some kids don't went back to school. Hopefully the kids was able to get through a smooth school day without no situations or incidents. Hopefully everybody who did have vacation time enjoyed their vacation time. Back to the work week and the grind. But again, hopefully everybody enjoyed their New Year's as well too. Appreciate everybody that tuned in for the conversation. Definitely was one that was needed. Those that missed it, might catch the replay. I feel Wednesday's live was a good start. And tonight, I ain't gonna be too crazy on this. I just wanna really try to touch base and reach some of these people that need to be reached. Um, and before my mouth go left. Notice already. Notice already. But I really want to speak to some of you young ones, especially in young 20s. Um, there's some of you who are doing things and then you're recording it, and you're recording it out of sheer ignorance. With that being said, there's some of you who need to get in control of your relationship and your love life, especially if you're going to be presenting whatever on social media. There's some things you're not going to be able to post up because it could cause you a situation even during your live streaming. A prime example of that would be any form of what would look like domestic violence or just physical abuse towards your partner. Now, you know, most of these streaming platforms, they always got somebody watching. Why put yourself in a dangerous position, or why put yourself in a position where you could end up losing people? Some of y'all that just think, oh well, it don't matter. It's more important about this. It's important to try to keep yourself in the best light that you can keep yourself in. You looking like you're about to, you know, be physical towards your significant other. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. That shit is not going to look right and fly right. Serious, baby. TGIF, baby. And I'm saying this on both ends. Young men and women out there, you have to stop thinking that being physical and being irate towards your significant other is the route to go. There's a multitude of situations and why, things could always go left or sour for you. Prime example, there was one who I can't remember their name, but it seemed like she was always the aggressor, putting hands on him and everything else. Now, yeah, he might have bucked up. I doubt if he ever put hands on her. But the fact that you was always the one putting hands on somebody, that's a problem. That means you can't seem to have any form of discussion without it getting violent. That's something that some of y'all need to work on. Arguments don't always lead to violence. And that's facts right there. If your man made you mad, there's no need for you to wild out and buck up. Because at the end of the day, guess what? You are still a female. And if that man did decide to turn around and cold clock you, what could you possibly do outside of play victim? But I'm going to also speak to some of y'all young men out there because there's some of y'all who are wilding out for respect. I'm sorry, you are. I was scrolling through my little shorts feed yesterday and came across a live that almost triggered the wrong part of me. And this is a problem that I do have with some of you young men out there. You don't always have to resort to anything just to get your point across. Now, I can give you that much. You did not put your hands on her. You did not swing on her, even though she did slap you, which you kind of deserve because there's no way you're gonna grasp on to somebody basically, like basically got their arms tied in a sweater, like you can't go nowhere. You almost trying to walk this girl like she's either a child that's being disgruntled or like a pet. That's not cool, especially when you're on a live stream. You're on a you're on a live stream. Your IP address will pop up. IP address will pop up, especially if they think it's some form of real danger. It will pop up, or somebody will find it and get it. And that's exactly what happened last night. I can't remember the content creator's name, but I could tell this person has more than one platform. But even still, you taking situations like that, you could get your channel banned. You get your whole setup banned just for what? Now again, y'all both might have been intoxicated. You were supposed to have been going out somewhere, but if things ain't suiting up, then y'all best bet was just to leave it be. It's obvious whatever was going on, she didn't want to be a part of it. And this is my thing again with some of y'all men. The same way y'all want a woman to leave you alone when you at your highest point of anger, you gotta realize it needs to be reciprocated. Because there's some women who are just irate and fed up over certain things. But if you're gonna keep doing the same things that a female would be doing to a dude, then that's a problem. That's a constant problem. Now, you also was kind of pulling like simp behavior because it wasn't hard for you to say, let me just let this girl go or let her go cool off, let her go do whatever. Now, if she would have told you this ain't working, I want to break up with you, what are you going to do then? See, right now, y'all young. You're young and dumbs. I always say young and dumbs, even though you're not dumb. But you're young and dumb when it comes to certain aspects of relationships. One second, y'all. Hold on. You're young and dumb in that aspect. Because, yeah, you still might be together now, but what happens if she gets tired? What happens if this is a constant reoccurrence where you are always, you know, it's almost like you humiliating somebody. Lucy, what's going on? What's going on? I believe he did say something about, I think his TikTok or one of them pages is banned right now. I can see why. Because if this is what you're doing on all your platforms, you're making yourself look crazy, number one. You definitely putting yourself in harm's way because you're going to have people who they don't care. If they feel this is a imminent threat, they will definitely do what's necessary. James, what's going on, my guy? See it, and then during that live stream, what I was watching, It was two situations where people was in their cars, see that you going back and forth with her. She's screaming at the top of her lungs, let her go, leave her alone. Like, and you just doing the utmost. You not trying to let her go. You know, you doing too much. There's some of y'all that need to get in control of your emotional state. For real. That's gonna be your downfall. Your downfall, even if you ain't being domestic, even if you're not doing whatever, they could consider that domestic violence because they could consider that kidnapping. You holding her against her will to a degree. She asked you to let her go, and you still was holding on to her. That's a problem, right there. See, there's some of y'all that don't think. You will sit here and allow your emotional state to take everything and put you in a deep corner. Now again, yeah, you didn't hit her, you didn't, and she did slap you at one point. You didn't hit her, you didn't do nothing violent, but they would consider that almost like a violent act because again, you're holding somebody against their will and they're telling you to let them go breathe, let them, like let them walk away. Let them walk away. I say that on both ends. If you know your significant other is not too happy at the moment, let them be. Let them have their space and time to breathe and catch themselves. Because then when something does happen and it goes to another level, what can you say and do then? See, that right there would have had all forms of, and then this the thing. Even during that live stream, somebody got the IP address because they was worried. DD baby. You already know if y'all just tuned in at the like button. But see, it was people that said, yo, I could get the IP because he was popping shit back to these people that was making comments. But most of them was calling him scum, they was calling him bum, they was calling him certain words. And even some of the men that was in the chat was saying, yo, bro, you wilding out right now. You asking for a DV. Like it was so many different comments coming in. At one point, there was 400 people in his chat. And almost every last one of them, whether they was bots or not, was saying the same shit. Bro, yo, wilding. One person said, well, at least he didn't hit her. But it don't matter. The fact that you are holding somebody against their will when they don't want to be around or bothered, that is a problem. Again, that is a form of kidnapping. Abduction, if you want to say that. Because look, let's say how if he would have dragged them more than 10 different blocks. Come on there. And I don't understand that. How do you think that that's cool? And then you pop and jump to people that obviously don't want to see this shit happen. You're live recording you doing some form of a crime. That's still a crime, whether you think that's not. That's a form of abduction and kidnapping. When you are dragging somebody, basically, or you are holding on to somebody, making them go where you want them to go, that's abduction right there. Care how you look at it. You was fiending out, I'm guessing, to get to some form of party or whatever. And the way you was making it seem, it was like, oh, you only got 5 minutes up and then it's over. So if the party gonna be over in 5 minutes, if that's what you were saying, why are you still harassing and dragging her or trying to get her to go somewhere she don't want to go, obviously? It's crazy. Like, why put yourself in a situation? Then now you got people looking at you funny. You was talking crazy, but like somebody said, it's not hard to get an IP address, my boy. And sure enough, somebody got his IP address, knew where the hell he was at, and all of that shit. That could have been a problem right there. Exactly, serious, and it is. That's crazy, man. It's just like, how do you sit here and could deem yourself any form of a grown man when you're moving more like a child in the mind? You're gonna sit here and say, "Oh, why would I get rid of somebody? Or why would I let her? Why would I let the best thing that's happened to me leave?" If that's the best thing that's happened to you, then you need to make that clear, and not in the way you was doing it. because that wasn't making it clear. You was making it clear to people that this is my property. I could do what I want. I could treat it however I want, and it is what it is. No, again, you will lose people behind that, especially if you're trying to grow and if this is what you want to do as far as social media and content is concerned. People will walk away from you in that instance. Why? Because again, look what you're doing. James number 8, what's going on, my guy? And that's what I'm saying. You know, you have to be mindful and be more considerate in what you're doing. You're, you know, the way you was, you know, pulling and tugging her and trying to string her along is like, come on, bro. You could tell she was getting aggravated. And then let's say, God forbid, you was gripping her to the point where if she did decide to pull away with all her strength and did get away, but would have took a slight trip and fall and banged her head on something, knowing that she's intoxicated, what you would have did then? This is what I'm saying. Like, it's some of you young men and women that don't think about situations like that. There's certain things that you need to chill out on because it could always escalate and get to a real bad situation that nobody gonna be able to save you from. Not gonna be able to save you from. Seeing that notion right there, there was 2 situations where cars done bypassed this man, seeing this man doing whatever, and could have got the car. And especially on the coast where they don't give a damn, nigga. If they see something that look too crazy, they own it. What if that girl family would have happened to just been out and about driving and seen that shit happening? You don't think they would have jumped out on your ass? You young brothers gotta think. You do have people who got family members who will crash all the way the hell out, especially for the females in their family. Can't take that away from that. Could have been an older brother seeing his sister again dragged around like that. What would have happened? That brother probably would have wailed on it. And then what? Talk all that tough stuff all you want to, but see, that's the problem with a lot of y'all. Y'all talk tough until you actually get into a situation where it becomes crucial. And right now, in certain states, they ain't playing no games with that domestic violence shit, even on the smallest aspects of it. The minute they think it's some form of abuse, it's either you going to jail or you both going to jail. Period. Who wants to go through all of that? Sitting through fucking, you're gonna be sitting in a cell for more than a couple days, depending on where you at, what county you in, so on and so forth. You're gonna be doing all of that for nothing. And then if this is something that's always on your rap sheet, after a while, they ain't gonna keep playing around. Ain't no more slaps on the wrist. You gonna do some hard time. And for what? Just because you couldn't control your actions and your thoughts? Come on, man. You know, and it's not to be funny because the way she screamed at one point, you know, people would have thought it was something else going on. They would have probably thought it was a sexual crime taking place and probably would have intervened. Now you sitting here trying to get mad to us, oh yeah, y'all ain't gonna do this and y'all ain't gonna do that. Yeah, go ahead, come on. Like you enticing the wrong thing. Now, what if that person would have got out the car with the blick and was ready to lay it off on? You ain't prepared for that, bro. And you shouldn't be in a situation where you could almost lose your life because you're playing around and endangering somebody else's. You know, you had a lot of people that was looking at that and they was just like, yo, you're wilding, you're bugging out. You need to chill out. You need to take this down because this is not going to look good for you. Not going to look good because, like I said, when these people that are watching behind the scenes see that this is a consistent pattern, yeah, they're going to start running down on it. There's a lot of you who think that you getting locked up because people telling on you. No, you're telling on yourself every time you record some form of a crime and you putting it and posting it up on social media. Doesn't matter what platform you use. You niggas is watching behind that damn camera to see if something real foul is going on. Shit, what's going on, my guy? That's what I'm saying. You got to start thinking. Think before you do. It is critical in this time era now for y'all to start thinking. Because again, they're not playing with anything that comes to abuse. And I would say the same thing for some of you women that think it's cool to always put your hands up and want to fight your man. No, they're not playing with your asses neither. They feel it's always the constant, you're the one that's initiating and starting it, you're going down. Appreciate you for dropping those links, serious baby. Working harder than this damn cold air, baby. But you know, that's what I'm saying. You gotta be careful of what you're doing. Because trust me, if you don't get stopped at some point by the arms of the Lord, like I said, you're gonna get bucked down by the law of the land, basically. You fellas know better. Some of you know better, for real. You know you are physically stronger than a female. I don't give a damn. She could be just as big as you, and you still are gonna have that physical advantage over her. So why would you put yourself in that scenario? Yeah, you didn't hit her, but what if you would have turned around and slapped her? Automatic. They'd have been coming looking for you. This is something that y'all need to stop doing. Stop posting up your damn crimes on this damn social media apps. And don't look to point the fingers and blames at anybody when you're doing simple things that could get you arrested. Or worse, unalive, because it could be somebody that's watching that really will go the distance further. I hear you, Chip. But you know, you gotta remember that part. They're not playing, especially when it comes to the melanated kind. Because they already think that we are aggressive, abusive, and not good to our women. But see, some of you young fellas, and even some of you older fellas, are doing the same exact young-minded shit. It's time for that to change, man. Sky, what's going on, my guy? Happy New Year's. Happy New Year. You know, and that's what I'm saying. It's like in this era right now, it's really crucial that you start using your mind. See, some of y'all will cry, "Oh, that's the best thing that's happened to me," but in the same token, you treating them like shit. Make it make sense. You can't sit here and say, "I love this girl," but then you trying to embarrass her online almost every day of the week. That's not love, nigga. I don't care how you think about it. That's not love. You know, and I think that's something y'all need to really like rethink. Is it really worth me sitting up or having to deal with paperwork or deal with quote unquote restraining orders, etc.? Because they're gonna go the distance. Y'all gotta remember, in certain cases, guess what? The state don't. If the state don't pick it up, well, shit, the city don't pick it up. The state can still pick it up. The feds can still pick it up. Who really wants that? Eve, what's going on, baby? Happy New Year, sis. I'm sorry, but it's real critical that y'all got to start really thinking outside of the box. You giving any form of abuse or recording that, they're gonna look at you. That's the first thing they're gonna say is, "Oh yeah, you can tell you're a womanizer, you're an abuser, you're this, you're that." And that might not even be the case. That might just be you acting the fool right now because you finally getting you a little piece of tail. And that's what it seemed like to me. It seemed like he finally got him a piece of tail. Don't know how to keep it next to him. You gonna mess up, bro, because that woman is gonna get tired of that shit, and she's gonna push on to somebody else who's gonna give her that respect that she deserves. And it's the same thing with some of y'all women. Y'all want to be abusive towards the men, but guess what? A man can easily just pick up and leave if he wants to. Just like y'all say y'all got options, guess what? There are men who have options. And the ones that really don't have options ain't stupid enough to let certain things bypass. If you claiming that's the best thing that's happened to you, then treat them as such. Stop trying to get a click in the view and a like. And you gotta think about it. At the end of the day, prime example. Some of you young men, you getting kind of crazy and getting out of pocket with these women. That's still somebody's daughter at the end of the day. That's somebody's niece. That's somebody's cousin, somebody's sister at the end of the day. That could be somebody's aunt. Anytime there's things like that getting too toxic, you need to move away from it. Yeah, see, I would hope that that girl wisens up, because a brother like you is not going to be able to keep no woman unless that woman is weak-minded and going to continue to go with it. It's the only way y'all got an advantage to a degree is taking advantage of people who are weak-minded, low self-esteem, low vibrational. It's the only ones you're going to get over on. That's what I'm saying. The dude could have jumped out that car and decided, well, you know what? Since you just invited the danger, here, take this. Now, look, your family would have either had to been preparing for a burial or be prepared to come visit you in the hospital. You know, that's what I'm saying. I have to really start thinking, man. It's not worth it. My woman is mad at me. Guess what? I'm gonna let her get her air, let her breathe, let her do what she gotta do. I'm not gonna sit there and keep trying to provoke and hold her against her will, especially when that's not the case. You know, and that's what I'm saying. There's some of y'all that are gonna you're gonna put yourself in a situation where nobody's gonna even want to be messing around with you because they're not gonna be able to trust you on any level. They're not gonna be able to trust you. And if this is something that you're doing on multiple platforms, oh yeah, it guess what? It's worldwide. That means anybody that does come across you, whether they know you a big time name or not, they're gonna play it safe when it comes to you. Now again, if this is the only woman that probably might be interested in you at that time frame, you should take that into consideration and take it for what it is. Because again, come on now. That right there is uncalled for. And it's unprecedented again, because again, this is what leads to a lot of DVs going wrong, basically. And I'm sorry, but some of y'all being too emotional, being too unstable, and that's something you're gonna have to work on. Now I know there's some of y'all who are in situations where you've probably been raised by a how you would say it, an emotional ratchet, basically. Because if the baby fathers or the fathers are not involved to a degree, we already know how that is. You know, and even with a two-parent household, it still has to remain intact. Look, these are the things that you just should not be doing at all. Like fellas, you being in your children's life, you need to let it be known, especially to your young kings. Look, this is not the way you go about it dealing with women. You know, and that's the truth right there. Even that, yeah, you gotta teach your daughters too. Not just teaching your sons, you teaching your daughters too. Listen, this is not what you should be doing, especially if you're trying to keep them in. That's why I was saying it's important to have both around when having specific talks and dialect, because again, the kids are going to pick up on that. Now, I don't know that person's background. Who knows? They probably came from a two-parent home, probably came from a single-parent home. Either which way, the way that you were doing things, if this is how you was always doing things to women, that's going to be a problem, bro. That's going to be every time you look, somebody's going to get involved because you're making it public. Like some people will jump in the midst of things because if this turned into a public argument at some point, the public gonna get tired of it. All that screaming, yelling, spazzing, fighting, that's not getting nowhere. But if you're in an area where it's heavily crowded with police, oh, you're not gonna be doing all that shit you was doing. Because trust me, they would be on your neck regardless. If they seen what was going on, they would be on your neck. Like even in the city recently, it was a situation that was about to take place. And before it could even take place, and this was a DV situation about to happen. Dude and his girl about to get into it right there on that corner. Guess what happened? Them cops snatched them up like security on head of state. Security! Snatched them up right out of there. Niggas ain't even know what happened. Certain people came back up the block like, yo, what the hell just happened? Wasn't there was people fighting? Yeah, they not playing with y'all. They not. Especially when there's certain events going on. They ain't trying to hear that from y'all. If y'all can't get it together and it's always going to be constant fighting back and forth, y'all might as well leave each other. Because that's got to be the worst toxic trait right there. Having arguments and disagreements over things that's not necessary. Again, get in control of your emotional state and your emotional awareness. And then, like I said, some of y'all got this, oh, I don't give a fuck attitude. I don't care. Ain't nothing going to happen. You keep thinking shit ain't going to happen. At some point, you're going to get humbled. You're going to hit that wall. And that proverbial wall is going to break every bone in your body, depending on how serious the situation is. You know? That's why it's important, again, to just got to teach from scratch. You got to teach from the beginning. You want your kids to be successful. You want your kids to be something in life. Then guess what? You're going to have to sit down and really break it down. You got to show them. Children since 10 years. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, even down to that. Like, even down to some of you parents right now. Like I said one time before, some of y'all need to chill out with all the damn fighting and arguing in front of your children. Because they're going to sense that and they're going to think this is a way that a healthy relationship is going to be. I got to argue with my lady, or I got to argue with my man. I got to do this. I got to be physical. No. That's not the way that shit works. Look at certain situations that's happened where, prime example, there's some women right now fighting for their lives or fighting to appeal certain situations because they were justified in doing what they're doing or what they did. But guess what? They don't see it that way. They just that, oh, well, you still had time to, you can't predict somebody's mindset. If a woman is being abused constantly at some point, she's going to end up abusing you or she's going to end up getting the drop on you. Or you might just say one thing and that can implement a whole tidal wave of things to happen. Probably catch you while you in your sleep and you won't even know. And that's what happened in certain situations. The best way for me to avoid this situation is taking this person out when they not even expecting. If it's not situations like that, oh, I got you. I'm gonna poison your ass. Yeah, you gonna get sick, or you gonna end up suffering. Gotta be careful. Again, once it starts getting to that point where it's constant nagging, or it's just constant aggression, nah. Y'all gotta sit down and figure out what's your next course of action, because it can't continue to go on like that. See, again, in that situation, that young brother could have probably lost his life if one of them dudes would have decided to get out that car and do what they was going to do. For all you know, you could have had a detective coming out that car. And then what you going to do then? Now your live stream about to be interrupted, or You about to basically be going in for what? So you willing to go to jail because you want to drag your girl to a party. Then you're gonna cry and say that, oh, this is their third, and it seems like it's only 5 minutes left, and then it's gonna be over. Well, if you know that the party is over at a certain time and there's only 5 minutes to get there, you might as well found something else to do or go home. Young brothers out there, again, I don't care what background you might have come from, at certain points in your life, you're gonna have to start making careful, executed decisions that's gonna benefit you. That right there is not beneficial. Putting yourself in a precarious situation where you could end up being unalive just because of that. Let's not forget there are brothers right now laying, and sisters too, laying in them sites right now because they was doing the utmost and thought that nothing was going to happen, and then something did happen. There's some people right now who gotten off on, self-defense, because guess what? It really was self-defense. If you are to a point where you feel like you're almost losing your life, if you got something that you know is going to help or be the equalizer to that shit, yeah, you're going to do whatever to preserve your life. That's just like if a man is beating up on a woman and she decide to grab some form of weapon. Yeah, all it takes is one good situation, poke you in one good situation, poke you in one good spot where you can't stop the bleeding. Now what? And it's a good. The only thing I can say about this situation is that at least there's no kids involved because they still young 20s. But it's just the principle. What if there was kids involved? Then you think about it. There's certain things you're putting up here you ain't gonna never be able to erase. Even if it gets taken down in one area, it'll still be up somewhere. And again, what example are you setting when you know there's more than just adults watching some of these social sites? For all you know, it could have been, well, let me find something for me and these kids to watch. And then they came across that live stream. Like, come on. You're showing a bad example. You're showing an example to the young men out there who could be watching that. This is what you gotta do to put your woman in check. Or vice versa. Like some of you women are the aggressors. What are you showing them young ladies and them queens out there? You're showing them that this is what you gotta do to keep your man or keep your king happy and satisfied. That's not happy. That's not satisfaction right there. That's sheer selfishness. I'm sorry, but it's time to really start maneuvering better than what you're doing. And when things ain't working with specific people, you move on. That's what you're supposed to do. But see, some of you have this in your mindset that I ain't gonna be able to find nobody just as good. You won't know if your ass don't get out there and go find out. Like that's real raps. You will never know what's what if you don't get out there and go make it happen. If things ain't working with the person that you dealing with, okay, well sit down, talk, figure out where you go from there, and then you keep it pushing. If I know I'm unhappy because of whatever, and I done had multiple times to try to fix this with a person, but it's still not working, I'm moving the hell on. I'm not gonna force you to stay, and I'm not gonna force you to waste no more time than you need to. That scenario right there could really did son some damage. Because, like I said, if the person didn't jump out the car and was ready to let it off, you would have been getting messed up by the boys themselves. Yeah, what you doing? It's just a sadness in it though. You know, the saddest scenario again is that, you know, some people really feel like they can't do better or that they can't get better. That's a lie right there. You can always do better, but it depends on what you're doing. Okay, well, this person didn't pan out for me. Maybe the next person to pan out for me. But again, you got to be careful and execute. Like I said before, that's like you leaving an abusive relationship to go into another one. There's no need for that. You need to sit back, reflect, and that's what a lot of people are not doing nowadays, reflecting and doing what's needed. Anytime you just got out of something, you have to take some form of time and reflection. Get to reestablish yourself, rebuild up whatever you need to rebuild up. If you lost some confidence or if you lost some esteem, rebuild that shit back up. Your goal should be trying to find somebody that best fits you, best pieces. You know, find somebody that's gonna love and respect you for who you are and gonna do right by you on all cylinders. And that same thing that you're doing for somebody should be reciprocated. I hope that young brother actually takes into consideration because I'm quite sure there's people that probably told him like you bugged out, bro. Nah, you tweaking right now. Well, if not, this is why it's going to be a repeated cycle because you're going to have people who are not intervening the way they should. Again, this is why it's important for a lot of you men out there, whether they your kids or not, be involved to a degree when it's giving the best advice. I'm sorry, but it needs to change. It needs to change because again, this is something that's it's gonna keep creating broken bonds and barriers and broken homes and all of that. It is. Like I said, look how many people have lost their lives to some form of domestic violence. And that's the thing. You know, it it should never get to a point where a relationship is getting that physical. The only physical that should be happening is when it comes down to the procreation of bringing kids into the world. Other than that, yeah, I should be not hitting on my woman. I should not be choking my woman. I should not be blacking her eye, breaking her ribs, or anything along those lines. I shouldn't be holding her against her will. I shouldn't be treating her like she's some form of a slave. BDBGP, what's going on? What's going on, my guy? Happy New Year. But that's the problem now. Again, is y'all see certain things, especially when it's presented online, and that's the way y'all think shit works. For some of you young folks out there, that does not work like that. Just because you might see somebody and you think they're getting away with it, oh, you know, guess what? It ain't gonna be that smooth because the next time around it could be lights out for that person. Oh, so you thought you was gonna do this? Hold this real quick. When I do find one of the clips, I remember it was a dude trying to get crazy with his girl online. Cops happened to just be in that right place at the right time, shut that nigga live down and all. When that person did come back, yeah, y'all, for those who was worried, yeah, I got arrested that night. Yeah, because some of these niggas not playing. Again, there's certain spots that is not playing when it comes to DV. They not. It's either one of you going or both of you going. Choice is up to you. And that's the thing. Look how many people have lost their lives because of it started off just simple like how last night. Things like that. You stroking the wrong type of anger and aggression out of a person that's supposed to be loving on you. Now that person is definitely upset. They don't want to be bothered. They ready to leave at some point. And they might just leave you. If you don't get yourself right, young man, and that's for all you young men out there. If some of y'all don't get yourselves right, you could find yourselves being alone forever. It ain't gonna be no, yeah, I could just get anybody I want. Because after a while, your options are gonna be slim. Only options you will have are the weak-minded. Again, the weak-minded and the ones with the low self-esteem. Those are the only ones you will definitely have as options. And it ain't fair. Keep saying that was the best thing that happened to you, then show her that. Like, I don't understand how y'all sit here and cry over about there ain't no good men, there ain't no good women. And I'm speaking of both ends. You're crying saying ain't no good person out there, but then you got a good person and don't know how to treat them. You don't know how to keep them. I'm catching up with the chat too. My bad, y'all. Yeah, I'm not doing nothing but just breaking it down for real. And I appreciate you for putting that up there, serious, because it's true. I'm not, trying to dismiss anything. To be honest with you, I hate domestic violence. I hate that that's even a thing. Like, what would give you that option to try to hurt somebody that you say you love? But again, there's some people who are emotionally unstable. So yeah, that's going to be the first thing they do. And if this was something that you was taught, that's sad. Come on now. Like I said, what if that? Now, like I said, I don't know if she got brothers or sisters or family within that run. Now, what if somebody family wise would have seen that going on while you live streaming and decided to try to get the rundown on it? Saying y'all have to really be careful. First things first, on either level, nobody's a slave to nobody. Your significant other is not supposed to be looked at or treated as. It's not a consolation prize. It's not no possession. No. Some of y'all obsessive and over possessive. Again, your man or your woman is not your property. They're not toys to be played with and thrown away when when you don't want to play with them no more. Again, when it comes down to that part of a relationship, everything has to be taken into consideration. The other person's feelings, other person's ideas, everything has to be taken into consideration again. The minute you dismiss all of that, you're already setting yourself up for failure. Because once that person feels dismissed in a relationship, then that's when things are going to start taking place. And if that person feels dismissed to the point where it now has to be said, they're going to tell you. Same way I seen this situation with this boy last night and the shit he was doing, I've seen women do that shit too on live streams or even in the streets. And you be like, you claim that this is yo king and you treating him like he another nigga in the street. Nah, there's a key. That's always going to be a key factor for anything in life, communication. Because if I'm not aware of what's going on, or if you're not aware of what's going on, that's a problem. Again, in that scenario right there, it didn't even have to be a pedestrian or a bystander. It could have been a shop owner that just seen that happening and decided to come out. And then what? Together, baby. Happy New Year, sis. Happy New Year's. You already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. If y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. But this is, something that you really have to. You just gotta, you just gotta do better and move better. You know, again, you need to check and make sure that a person is emotionally capable and emotionally aware of what's important around them. Anything that's unstable, forget about it. If you dealing with somebody that don't give a damn about themselves, how can you expect them to care about you? And that's something that should be looked at. This motherfucker don't even care about themselves, so why should I be with this person? That's just like with some of you fellas out there. You thinking, oh, this is my option right here, this is my best option. But what if that option you got is just an option? Like, come on now. There's some of y'all trying to simp to the fullest degree. I'm gonna do everything for this woman to keep this woman by my side. And it's that some of the same thing with you women. You will do anything to keep these people around you, but in the same token, if these people don't give a fuck, they're gonna show you they don't give a fuck. So what part of happiness is coming from anywhere? Come on there. If I'm with somebody and I'm showing them I could care less about their feelings, their whereabouts, safety, that person don't need to be around me because it's obvious I'm gonna be a crash out on my own. There's somebody for everybody. I've always said that. There's somebody for everybody. But see, to be honest, you can't be for everybody. Prime example, you young fellas out there wilding for respect. If you know this woman is for the streets, let her be. Like some of y'all cry more. Oh, it didn't seem like a no. You can't place everybody in the same generalized category. Like I said one time before, not every man is a wife beater or an abuser or a womanizer, and not every woman is a street harlot, street hoe, homebreaker, whatever you want to call it. True. Again, got to start caring for yourself. Care for yourself, and then you'll find somebody that cares for you just as much as you care about yourself. Because again, it's supposed to be some form of reaffirmation. If I'm with somebody that I know for a fact probably has a little low self-esteem, I'm supposed to help them build that shit back up. I'm supposed to say and do the things that are necessary to build them back up or to make sure they get that reassurance. No, you might have been in a situation where you felt less than, but I'm not going to make you feel that way. And this is what I'm saying. Some of y'all will keep y'all situations. If you are in good situation, you will keep them longer if you just do those right type of things. Let me consider my significant other's feelings, their thoughts, their views, and opinions. It's not hard to do so. It's about making solid choices again on both angles. Making them solid choices when needed. And that's why I said there's some things, you're gonna have to have a common ground on, because it's all about respect. You can have all the love in the world for somebody and not respect them. But you want both. You want love and respect. Anybody that says that they don't, bold face lie. Because I know I would want the same love and respect that I'm giving to somebody. You know? And that is the problem right there. Nobody knows they self-worth, they self-value, none of that. The ones that do are making careful decisions. I'm not just going to throw myself out there to just anybody, you know? Get to know somebody inside and out, all around the board. So this way, there's no issues. This way, there is no arguments. There is no disagreements on things, especially the simplest thing. Like prime example, you know your significant other really doesn't want to partake in certain events. Can you blame them? No. Listen and hear what they're saying. And if you're hearing that they really don't sound comfortable about the, take heed. You know, it's time. It's time for a lot of you young brothers to shaping up. It's time for you young sisters too to stop with this aggression and stop with this. This is what you got to do to prove yourself. I feel like this. Anybody putting hands on anybody, look, you deserve to get what's coming to you. If you're being an aggressor and an abuser, at some point you're gonna be humble. Like I said, you're gonna run into that proverbial wall and not see it coming. I hear you, serious. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like we have options to move around and figure out what we want. But once we make a choice decision on something, that's our priority. The priority is making sure that everything is intact. I hear you. It's the truth. You're supposed to know yourself inside and out. Nobody else knows you better than you. But you also got to remember this too. There's some people who are just not going to tolerate the things that you're doing. Just like I said, you doing certain things and it's on the verge of embarrassing them or it's consistently embarrassing them at some point. They're either going to embarrass you or they're going to tell you something that's going to be hurtful. It might be truthful, but it's going to be hurtful because you need to hear it. And see, there's some of y'all who are messing yourselves up out of good positions that you do have because, again, you're not knowing how to treat what you have with respect, dignity, and class. If you want to quote unquote use somebody as a toy, then guess what? Not all toys get damaged and destroyed. You do know that. There are people and even young ones who know how to preserve the things that they love to play with or the things that bring them joy. You know, and that's the thing though. You know, you can't sit here and obviously say that you want to be with somebody, you cherish them, you love them, and all of that, but then look how you're doing. You're treating them like they yesterday's news. You're treating them like scum, and that's the problem. You know, again, you need to know yourself, know your worth, know your value, and then from there, everything else will fall in place because you will find that right man or that right woman that is going to bring even more value and more appreciation out of you. Court, baby. Happy New Year, baby. My bad, job. Y'all here sound like C-74 locked down. I know. But you know, you got to think about that. You you are precious. You are valuable. You are strong, smart. You're worth it. Now, there's some people that's not going to see the value in you, but you're going to have those who do see the value in you. The ones who do, those are the ones you need to take a look at. And that's the thing though. It's so simple nowadays to just put anybody in your life. But now when it's time to really find something that suits you, it's gonna be too hard to get rid of somebody. See, for some of y'all, again, you need to be mindful and aware of who you're giving time to. Because now if things ain't moving the way it should move and you decide you want to move on, you don't know how this person's gonna fit. But this is why communication is a important tool again. Because if I'm unhappy and I'm telling you I'm unhappy and you still doing what you're doing, or you're not doing anything to try to help correct it, then I gotta move forward. And if I decide to move forward, you need to just accept it. That's another thing some of y'all have to work on. Learning to accept when things are over. There's some of y'all who think, oh, well, yeah, all right, we ain't together now, but we gonna be back together soon. Oh, we ain't together, but we gonna get back. It might not be like that. If that person is one of those, I don't do too many second chances, you asked out. You have to be compatible. Exactly. You right on that. That's what I'm saying. There's things you have to take into consideration. But if somebody says they don't want to be with you and they're showing you they don't want to be with you, just let them go. You're not getting no grounding points by consistently harassing or consistently stalking. See, that's another thing, another charge that could be brought up on you at some point, especially if you don't learn to accept the things you're supposed to accept. Telling you, it all starts from home. It all starts from what you're showing them, what you're teaching them, what you're raising them into. You got to remember, these adults that's are moving around now, they were kids. They were being raised, but being raised by who? I'm sorry. Um, you can never sit here and cry about this is unfair. I can't find this. I can't find this. I can't do. No, the problem is you refuse to move around. There's some of y'all who will waste damn near all your time trying to chase somebody that don't want to be chased, or chase somebody that don't have no interest in you. That's a problem when you don't know when to say, all right, person ain't interested, let me keep it moving. Some of y'all will go a distance further. That's what I'm saying. Some of y'all have never learned how to deal with rejection. That's something you should learn. You know, I hear you serious, but that would be like that with most logical men and women. If you cheated, you did whatever, there ain't no second chance. You know, you might have some who will give that second chance, especially if the person was sincere about it and just trying to whatever and actually learn something from it. Yeah, because I've seen some people get cheated on. You thought it was going to be over. They got back together, and things just it changed up. Things got stronger to a degree. There is no more shoot, even to the point where even if they do have a disagreement, they ain't throwing up the situation about the cheating. You know, oh my God, you did this. Now that's another thing for some of y'all. If you're gonna forgive somebody, and if you say you're gonna give them that second chance, then that shouldn't be something that's always tossed up in the middle of an argument or a conversation or disagreement. Because then that shows that you're not fully over what you say you was over. If you said you got past it, then move past it. Can't be stuck on rewind. For real. Every time you think you're supposed to be moving forward and you move backwards, that's a problem. So take that into full consideration. If you are willing to forgive somebody for whatever they did do, don't keep bringing it back up. Let that shit die. And if you know it ain't like that, then you kindly move on. Like I said, move on. You go find something better. Find something that best suits you and complements you. Because nobody should have to deal with what if this person is cheating? What if this person doesn't this? What nobody should have to worry about that. Especially if they deeming somebody, you know, a good fixture in their life. They shouldn't have to worry about certain things, and you shouldn't have to worry about it. I'm telling you, know your self-worth and your value before you throw yourself out there to just anything. And for some of y'all that feel your options are getting slimmer and slimmer, then you better make sure within that realm of things, you are picking the right form of situations. Give me 1 second, y'all. Again, you young fellas out there, it's time for some of y'all to start thinking for yourself, start believing in yourself, start taking in all of the good qualities that you have. Ladies, same thing. Build yourself up. In order for you to be a strong individual and for you to be strong for somebody that you might place in your life, you got to build yourself. You got to know what you're willing to tolerate, what you're not willing to tolerate, what you're willing to compromise with, what you're not willing to compromise with. You know, and again, because there are different scenarios. There are some people who have been cheated on, but forgave a person and they've been stronger ever since. See, a lot of times, again, it's just communication. You have to really sit down with somebody. And this is my thing again. If you don't want to be wrapped up in any form of situation like that, then you need to let that be known to that person that you have been spending some form of time with. And again, be clear in communication because you'll have some people who think, well, if this person's spending this much time with me, that means we must be dealing with each other or we could be dealing with each other. So let me try to just do what I do now. No. If you know for a fact you're not pursuing a relationship with that person, let that person know. Whatever you are pursuing, you have a right to pursue what you want. Like I said before, if your thing is just having a friend with benefits, that's how you gonna keep it. At least until you know you ready to be tied down to something, then hey, that's what you do. That's your option, your preference. You looking for a companion, just straight friendship or whatever, that's your choice. Whatever you decide to do as far as putting happiness again into your life, that is solely up to you. My bad if y'all hear some wind in the background. You already know workflow as always. But again, it's critical. I hear you, and that's understandable. Look, because everybody is different, you know. But you're standing on your principles because, again, which is truth. You know, you can't get into this form of a relationship with somebody, and then this is what's happening. Again, no woman should have to worry about if her man is out there cheating. Just like no man should have to worry about if his woman is out there busting it open for the next one. Because there are some scenarios that have played out and have definitely destroyed the balance of what could have been a good relationship. See, you know, this is my thing. You have to be careful when it comes to certain scenarios and who you bring your loved one or your significant other around. Prime example, there's some women who have cried and moped, because of that. Look how many situations you done had where a woman done said her best friend done slept with the person that she dealing with, vice versa. My thing is, it's enough of us in this world to go around. Just because somebody might have something good, or because somebody does have something that's looking great and looking promising, that doesn't mean you messed that up. Lusting and thirsting over something that's temporary. And again, just be open. Be open in your communication. Let it be known what it is you're seeking. And if a person is willing to accept whatever, then hey, it is what it is. But if they're not gonna accept it, then you know, you go find somebody that will. Because again, everybody gonna have their own how they want to do things. Some people are looking for a great relationship. Some people are looking just for a great companion or a friend with benefits that they could trust. Look here, I trust you enough, regardless to what. Even though we ain't on that type of time like we should be, I trust you. You want to just casually hook up with somebody, cool. Again, your preference, your decisions, that's solely on you. But again, you can't force your thoughts and everything on somebody that might not think that way. Prime example, I could come across somebody and I could tell them this is what I'm looking for, and they probably might tell me, "Oh, I'm not looking for this." So it would have to be a respect level on both ends. Well, okay, well, you don't want this, I don't want this, so where we go from here? And then that's it. You keep it pushing forward. Why waste time? You know, time is precious, and you know, time you can't get time back. But you done wasted time, you can't get that time back. That's too much time wasted, too much time gone. Again, some of y'all have to learn. It's better to be open and honest with somebody and give that person the option than to try to force that person into an option with you. But again, there's some of you young and dumbs out there that I'm gonna say this again. Think before you do. Don't allow your emotional state to take shape and also mess up your views and ideas. You can end up being with somebody who could be that perfect one for you. But the minute you start crashing out and start showing and doing otherwise, putting yourself in a difficult position. Mic check, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me get a one in the chat. I don't know why I'm breaking up for it. You know, but this is what I'm saying. You're placing your all right, you good, you good. I don't know why it's probably this new building. I don't know. Too many new buildings out in my area. Fucking shit up. But again, you could have had a perfect option, but you messed your option up because you let your pride, your dignity, and everything else get in the way of that. I know some people right now, like I said a while back, still kicking themselves over, damn, son, I had the best. Yeah, you had the best, and the only thing you had to do was just keep simple thing rolling, and that person would have stayed with you. That person didn't require much, especially when a person don't require much. That's that's gold right there. That's on both ends. That's gold right there when somebody don't require much from you outside of love, respect, loyalty, and honesty. If you don't think that's a sure win and a sure fit, then shoot, I'll shut the hell up because there's people that I heard over my years cry, damn, and I had a son grade and I fucked that up. Yeah, well, you know that's something you had to learn. And sometimes you're gonna mess yourself up and learn a valuable lesson. You're gonna learn a valuable lesson that again, not everybody is gonna be for the shit that you think they for. Not everybody's gonna go with what you're going with. Like I said, you could just be solely looking for friends with benefits. That person you trying to implement might not want that. That person might not even want a relationship or even anything along those lines. So again, sit at that table and have these conversations when needed. And again, I would suggest that some of y'all who are dealing with aggression issues take time and focus on rebuilding yourself, restructuring your core. Because again, don't nobody want to be sitting up behind no walls over some domestic violence or worse. So you have to think. So I said it's important to love yourself, and strive for what you need to strive for. See, when you're not focusing on bettering yourself or trying to get yourself in a better position, you're gonna lose focus on everything. And you gotta think what's more important: overall happiness or just the happiness for the moment. You want to create long-lasting moments, regardless. You're not going to be able to do so when you're messing yourself up in the way you messing yourself up. Fellas, man, know when to leave Shalom and walk away. Ladies, same thing. Know when it's time to up and leave. When it becomes too toxic, that's when you should have that ultimate talk. And then that's it. And if things don't change on either end, you know what to do from it. See, and again, there's a lot of y'all who are not even going to take heed to some of this advice because you're following people who you think are giving the best advice. when some of these people are not giving no form of advice, or they're not showing you how to really maintain and sustain a strong, healthy relationship. Mic check 1, 2, and 2. God damn it. Mic check. Without communication, there's no relationship. No respect, there's no love. No, that's the whole fact. Serious. My bad, y'all. Like I said, we all say that we want and need things. We are not willing to do the things that we need to pursue it and to keep it. You want a long-standing relationship with somebody? Find somebody that's going to fit that bill. And if the person has shown that they're the best option or the best out of everything, if they are proven that you are the best priority in their life, hey, you won. Now all you gotta do is just keep your shit tight. That's it. Mic check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't know what the hell going on tonight, but I guess they don't want me to get this good old word out today. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I probably had you in my pit for a second back, y'all. Give me 1 second. You know, again, think about it. Because I'm not gonna hold y'all all night. I just wanted to bring this out today. Again, you young men and women out there, if you think belittling or berating or downright just trying to destroy somebody's self-esteem is the way to go, and the way you keep a person in your life, you are sadly mistaken, and you really need to reevaluate everything that's need to be evaluated. Because trust me when I tell you, not everybody is going to stay around for the long haul, especially if things don't change. So again, think before you do things. I hope that young fella actually took the time to listen to those people who probably might have gotten in his ear. Because I'm quite sure probably had people that knew him that was in the stream telling him that same thing. Young man and anybody else, y'all need to listen, man. Before you end up being another victim of circumstance or being another number in the system because of your actions, ask, is it really worth it? See, there's some of y'all who, yeah, you're right. There's some people who they honestly need a two-parent household. Not gonna lie to you. They do need a two-parent household. Some don't. I'll be honest with you. I ain't come from no two-parent household. But that don't mean I ain't learned how to fucking be a man when I was having to do things I needed to do. Shit my moms couldn't teach me. I still had uncles and fucking older fellas in the community that thought like how community should be. This is my youngin', but shit, if my youngin' out there looking kind of crazy, I'm gonna try to hip him to some game or something. You know? And that's what I'm saying. You had uncles, cousins, and shoot. Like I said, with me, I was fortunate. Hence why I carved the way I carved out today. I know how to treat a woman. I know how to not push buttons, etc., etc. I've been doing enough little things in relationships that it ain't nothing that you ain't learned. You want to sustain a long-term relationship with somebody, again, you got to learn the word compromise and what it really means. And you also, again, have to be willing to do so. Not sacrifice, but compromise. You know, you're tired of seeing and hearing these situations and scenarios. Oh, these men are no good. These women ain't shit. So on and so you tired of hearing that. I don't want both ends. Some of you men and women out there definitely getting tired of that. And then some of y'all, I'm not gonna lie to you, there's some of y'all that again are listening to people who don't have the best advice. Prime example, I don't have to have a woman to know what the fuck a woman needs and what she is, she might require. And it depends on the woman. If the woman told me exactly what it is she needs and more than anything, all right, well, shoot, I know how to move from there. There's nothing with chivalry because they think chivalry is dead. It's not dead. It lost art. See, again, we always cry about people not building us up. Your significant other could build you up in ways that nobody else will. You could build yourself up as well too. But once you've already got yourself built up and established, now it's just about finding somebody that again shares the same common interest and thing that you do. Even if they don't share every damn common interest, it doesn't matter. You like to go out? Come on, we both going out. Oh, you like movies? Come on, we shooting out to the movies. Oh, you want to do a date night? We can do that. The main thing to remember is just try to keep everything fresh and keep it like it's your first time. You know, don't mess yourself over. Some of you men and women, y'all like to go distance for your significant other, but if your significant other is going all the way out for you, it should be reciprocated. Point blank, period. Like there's some of you women that their man's supposed to just take care of everything and then get nothing in return. I watched something that threw me off. And we'll talk about that on another live. Because I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. But I'm gonna be honest with you on my overall reaction. The way the girl said that, I'm like, oh yeah, you never want to keep a man. You're only gonna have a man that's gonna want to do something with you, and that's it. You're gonna be the official side piece for life. Because if you thinking that somebody's supposed to go all the way to fuck out their way for you and you don't do it back, you're gonna lose that person right then and there. You're not taking no real consideration, no thought into your significant other's feelings, thoughts. Problem right there. You're gonna definitely lose. But yeah, I'm gonna reiterate on this again, because again, this is a message that need to be reiterated on. Because again, some of you young still wilding right now, especially those who are putting themselves out here on this social media game. You want to be on all these platforms. You want to be content creator. You want to be this. You want to be that. You're putting the wrong things out there that again are giving the wrong type of insight to people who are watching. You can't say, "Oh, I love my woman" or "I love my man," but then you online embarrassing your man or embarrassing your woman, embarrassing yourself. Something to think about. Before I get up out of here, I do want to take the time out to thank everybody that's been a part of the build, still becoming a part of the building. That's we still got more conversations and content. Keyword content. But Yo, celebrating birthdays. I ain't forget about you, Capricorn babies. I still ain't forget about you. I did not forget about you. Oh, and it's Friday too. It's Friday. So hold on.
I don't wanna go to
No. Let me go. I ain't forget about y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoying your birthday, yourselves safe, no matter what y'all getting into. Just fucking know you there. Phone died on me, y'all. About time for me to get up out of here. It's time for me to get up out of here, y'all. Phone completely died on me, y'all. But yeah, let me get up out of here. I appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. Apologies for that little rude awakening, but again, hopefully somebody did get something out of this. And I'm gonna reiterate on this, definitely, most likely this week. Let me get up out of here though. If y'all was new to the channel, like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. For everybody that was in attendance tonight, y'all already know that love is love and it'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is give you real. That's what I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real builds. And if I'm not back tomorrow, for those following me on Clapper, I will definitely see y'all tomorrow at 5. Yes, we will be in the building. And I'm gonna reiterate again on this situation, this topic, because it needs to be. And so some of you youngins out there get it together, you're gonna need some OGs that's gonna tell you what it is, tell you what you need to hear, and tell you not what you want to hear. Yeah, let me get up out of here. Y'all be safe, keep that third eye open, and until next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.